explanation. Now let's come to part B. Now I'm going to show you like a bad answer, like or answer that you might think is good enough, but why it's not getting a good score. Let's have a look at that. Now consider the three main styles of leadership Bob could use in this business. Now it's another case study. I'm not going through over the case study because that's not really important right now. Which leadership style do you think he should use? So three main styles. Of course, तीनों के बारे में बात करनी है, and then you have to give a recommendation on one of those styles. Leadership style 1, Bob could use autocratic leadership style. Okay, 1 mark there. Naam mention ho gaya. In this style, the leadership, Bob would give instructions to his 2 part-time employees. That's application. Now we know there are 2 part-time employees to do the washing and expect from the 2 to be done properly. There would be no communication from the side of his workers. All right, so it's a very, very basic kind of a structure going on over there. The examiner is saying that level 1 is awarded for identifying the correct name for the leadership style. The candidate is awarded a mark for correctly naming all 3 different leadership styles. वो बाकी सब उसने बता दिए. But यहाँ पे उसकी कोई explanation इतनी clear नहीं है. थोड़ी application उसने की है, but let's see. Style number 2, Bob could use democratic style of leadership. In this leadership style, his part-time employees would also be involved in deciding the way of working or taking up a next customer. The part-time employees can give the options too. Okay, so if they can give options, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? How is that useful? कुछ उसके बारे में ज़्यादा explain नहीं किया. So leadership styles 1 and 2, both of them are descriptions. ठीक है, so मैंने शुरू में बोला था कि आपने उसकी definition नहीं बतानी. और उसने सिर्फ describe किया है, rather than an advantage and disadvantage of using this style. So let's go back to the question. It says, consider the 3 main styles of leadership. Let me just hide this. Okay. Bob could use, and which style do you think he should use? अब उसने कहीं definition नहीं पूछी. अब उसने ये भी नहीं लिखा कि advantages और disadvantages discuss करें. कुछ questions में उन्होंने लिखा होता है, mention किया होता है कि discuss the advantages and disadvantages. अगर नहीं किया हुआ फिर भी आपने उसके limitations, drawbacks, advantages, benefits mention करने हैं. Why is that a good thing? अगर आपने description भी दे दी है तो उसके साथ ही बता दें कि how is that a good thing for a business, or why that might not be the best thing to use or the best thing to in this particular case situation. Now, the third is Bob could use laissez-faire leadership style. In this, Bob would tell his part-time workers about the next washing job and leave it to them to decide how to go about doing the washing and cleaning job. They can show their creativity. अब मतलब windows wash करने में I wonder क्या creativity होगी, but what I'm trying to show you here is that the person definitely knows what the 3 leadership styles are. He knows what the definitions are, so उसको concept पूरा पता है. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या थी, उसको ये नहीं पता था कि आंसर कैसे लिखें. अब उसने जब बाहर निकल के सोचा होगा मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा ये सवाल आता था. I aced it because I knew exactly what the leadership styles were. मुझे उनके नाम आते थे. I knew what it meant. But what happened? उसने आंसर लिखा ठीक नहीं है. Leadership style 3 is also a description of the leadership style, but does include an advantage allowing the employee to show creativity. Even though कि वो इतने relevant नहीं है, but चलो, okay, creativity में whatever way they're doing it, we can't really challenge that. As the candidate does not explain why this is an advantage to the business, the answer remains in level 1. तो कोई खास add new answer के अंदर कोई चीज. Now let's look at the recommendation that they've given. Bob should follow democratic style of leadership in his business as he looking to increase his sales. Okay. Bob can ask options from his part-time workers and together decide what would be best way of washing the windows. His workers would be more motivated. Okay, so we get some advantage over there. Why the other options were rejected? Nothing about that either. So does discuss chosen democratic leadership style. The recommendation is in the context of the case study because windows ki baat ho rahi hai, which is the best way of going about it. Because Bob recognizes Bob wants to increase his sales of the window washing business, it identifies that his employees will be more motivated. वो भी हमने discuss कर लिया. The recommendation is in level 2 and is not at the bottom of this mark band because the answer is applied to the case study. But problem क्या है? उसने दोनों जो दूसरी चीजें हैं वो क्यों रिजेक्ट की हैं उसके बारे में नहीं बताया. नाउ मार्क्स कितने को मिले हैं? दैट्स 6 out of 12. नाउ व्हाई? लेट्स लुक एट दैट. अब 6 मिले हैं बेचारे ने. उसने सोचा तो ये हुआ कि मैंने बहुत अच्छा आंसर लिखा है बिकॉज मुझे सब आता था, बट सिर्फ 6 मार्क्स मिले. How he could have improved? He needed to discuss the advantages and the disadvantages of each leadership style. So one advantage of each and one disadvantage of each. ठीक है, this would have moved the level up. Now the recommendation जो है उसमें क्या करना था? Why the other two styles were less suitable in the case study context for Bob. वो क्यों less suitable थे वो नहीं लिखा उसने. और अच्छा, एक और चीज जो I want to talk about is, even though I'm saying advantages and disadvantages लिखने हैं, एक और एक दो, टोटल 2 पॉइंट्स, उससे ज्यादा नहीं लिखने बिकॉज नॉलेज के इतने ज्यादा मार्क्स नहीं है, एनालिसिस के मार्क्स हैं. आपने ये नहीं करना कि मैं 3 एडवांटेजेस बता दूं 3 डिसएडवांटेजेस बता दूं सिर्फ डेमोक्रेटिक के. That is not going to get you marks. It's going to waste your time, waste your space, and still you might still remain at 6. So be very, very careful. Okay. Let's look at another answer very, very quickly. Now, explain the benefits to BW of employing part-time employees and full-time employees. Now, यहाँ पे उसने क्या बोला है? Explain the benefits. अब क्वेश्चन को आपने बहुत केयरफुली रीड करना है. अब जो पिछला क्वेश्चन था उसमें कुछ भी नहीं लिखा था. ना उसने लिखा था एडवांटेजेस, ना लिखा था डिसएडवांटेजेस, लेकिन उसने क्या बोला था? कंसिडर. तो जब आप कंसिडर करते हो तो इट हैज टू बी होलिस्टिक पिक्चर, गुड बैड दोनों तरफ से आपने देखना है. कई दफा उन्होंने बहुत क्लियरली लिखा होता है डिस्कस और व्हाट आर द एडवांटेजेस एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस, खुद ही से उन्होंने बता दिया. वहां पे इजी हो गया, वन एडवांटेज वन डिसएडवांटेज. कंसिडर कह रहा है अगेन टॉक अबाउट वन एडवांटेज वन डिसएडवांटेज. लेकिन जब वो कह रहा है सिर्फ बेनिफिट के बारे में है तो आपने उसमें नेगेटिव्स नहीं डालने. सो ये इसको बेशक सर्कल कर लें जैसे इस कैंडिडेट ने किया जो कि बहुत अच्छा उसने किया है, अंडरलाइन कर लें, कुछ भी उसको हाईलाइट नहीं कर सकते, दैट्स नॉट अलाउड. सो यू कैन जस्ट अंडरलाइन और सर्कल. So explain the benefits to BW of employing part-time employees and full-time employees. So we know there are 2 options here rather than 3. Do you think Bob should continue to employ only part-time employees? So ये भी पता चल गया इस क्वेश्चन को आंसर करना है justification के अंदर, अपनी recommendation के अंदर. Part-time employees, that's your first heading. Part-time employees will allow BW to reduce their I don't know what this is. Part-time employees will allow BW to reduce their cases. Okay, since costs, sorry, over 5 hours, to reduce their costs, since they would be ready to accept lower wages in return of flexible timings. Okay, this would give BW a competitive edge as BW would be able to lower their prices of its window cleaning, window washing services, and will allow BW to gain a higher market share by attracting more customers due to cheap prices. तो उसने बता दिया, आपको बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन भी कर दिया, because they're cheaper and why that is a good thing. Cost कम हो जाएंगी, competitive edge होगा, you can reduce your prices and gain a higher market share. So very well given analysis, full detail is given in context. ठीक है, competitive advantage, price of window services, window cleaning, window washing services, तो अच्छी पूरी बात उसने जो है ना वो कंप्लीट कर दिया उसके अंदर. उसके बाद आपका आ गया a brand image of BW offering a value for money services will help maintain customer loyalty. 2, which will further increase profit. So अब brand image की उसने साथ बात कर ली है कि वो cheap prices जो है वो brand image हो जाएगा क्योंकि आप value for money दे रहे हो, तो उसको further वो increase करता जा रहा है कि वो कितना और उसको फायदा होगा. तो उसने full explain किया, तो उसने एक ही advantage use किया है और उसको उसने full ज्यादा लंबा सा explain कर दिया. So initial statement by benefit of part-time employees. The second sentence builds on an initial statement with a fully detailed discussion of the benefit to the business of employing part-time employees. We talked about it and it is also in context. So यहाँ पे आप देखो उसने एक कोई बहुत अच्छा से explain किया and still that is pretty decent. Full-time employees. Full-time employees will be more motivated to work for BW because they not only consider it to be a permanent business that they are that they can dedicate themselves to, but also spend more time connecting with their boss, Bob. Okay, this means that their efficiency would be improved and they would be able to clean more windows in less time. Okay, so now they're more connected. Now they're going to be more efficient. That means they will be able to clean more windows in less time. This would reduce wastage of time. Sir, wastage nahi likha. Wastage of time and average cost would fall, which leads to rising profits as BW has become more competitive in the window washing industry. Again, उन्होंने नो वाई हाउ कुछ नहीं छोड़ा, हर चीज को चेन बाय चेन स्टेप बाय स्टेप एक्सप्लेन किया. दिस विल लीड टू दैट विल लीड टू दिस. They did not try to kind of give a lot of advantages. They just talked about one advantage and then they just took it home, like all the way. पूरा explain किया उन्होंने. Now the candidate makes a statement, okay, builds on the initial statement, full detailed discussion. The candidate also included further detailed discussion of the benefit and has moved the answer further into level 2. So top level mark आपको इसके ऊपर मिल रहा है. Now, अगर हम इसकी अब देखते हैं conclusion. Full-time employees would be more suitable for BW since Bob is expecting a high demand for his services after the promotion. Okay. In context, so definitely है, clearly उसने बता दिया कौन सा करना चाहिए. Recruiting to part-time employees can be expensive and Bob will expand BW further. This cost will increase, leading to lost profits, okay, in the long term. On the other hand, full-time workers will allow Bob to incorporate total quality management in their services since they are more motivated and this will increase customer loyalty. I'm more motivated already थोड़ा सा बताया था. And customer satisfaction, allowing BW to survive and flourish in the future. Now, candidate makes a decision in context, but the decision is not justified in the first sentence. यहाँ तो नहीं बताया उसने क्योंकि उसके बाद secondly part-time की बात करने लग गया. The conclusion goes on to be well justified in the following sentences. So a lot of the times I get a question कि हम शुरू में बताएं, हम end में बताएं, देखिए structure से फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. उसने कहा यहाँ तो नहीं उसने justify किया लेकिन बाद में जाके कर दिया. Including why part-time employees are rejected as well as why full-time employees are chosen. So दोनों चीजें उसने की है. Overall, it's a level 3 answer conclusion. Now, conclusion भी high level पे है, लेकिन अगर थोड़ा सा वो discuss और कर देता about the rejection, यहाँ पे उसने कहा है कि expensive हो जाएगा to part-time employees. क्यों expensive होगा? ये थोड़ा सा अगर explain कर देता कि how will it be expensive? अब उसने उसकी implication तो बता दिया कि वो बढ़ जाएगी, लेकिन why is it expensive if it is hiring two part-time employees? ये थोड़ा सा explain कर देता तो उसको मिल जाते हैं 12 on 12. बट इवन 11 out of 12 अब थोड़ा सा ना ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है क्योंकि एक ग्रे एरिया होता है फॉर द एग्जामिनर. सो एज अ कैम्ब्रिज एग्जामिनर आई कैन टेल के सम एग्जामिनर्स माइट हैव गिवन इट अ 12 आल्सो बिकॉज उसने मेंशन किया था. सो देयर इज लाइक अ डाउट मार्क कि 1 मार्क दें या ना दें. सिंस देयर इज नो हाफ मार्क तो उसने नहीं दिया. नाउ समटाइम्स ये होता है कि पार्ट ए में वो डाउट मार्क दे दिया, सो पार्ट बी में वो नहीं दे सकते. फिर कोई नेक्स्ट टाइम जो सब सिचुएशन अराइज होती है फिर वो दे देते हैं. सो दे गिव इट वन टाइम एंड दे डोंट गिव इट वन टाइम. बट अदरवाइज इट्स अ रियली रियली गुड and well written answer